Hey everybody, just a quick one. It's Tuesday, October 14th, and I just finished up my shot, which was the second portion of the treatment. And this was pretty simple. Literally just went in, got a shot in the arm, and kind of walked back out again, but got a little clarification on what this actually was. It is part of the targeted meds, the immunotherapy portion of things, and this is a shot specifically intended to help enhance bone marrow development, because as chemotherapy, that's one of the things that chemotherapy can do, can impact your white blood cell count and all the other stuff, and this is one of the treatments to help keep my white blood cell count up. Which also, by the way, so I did, before the treatment yesterday, a full blood work panel. That was the very first thing they did when I got here. They just drew a little bit of blood and came back with, geez, I don't know, 50, 60 different results for the blood work. And it was already available for me to see through the medical portal, like later in the day, and I was looking at it, and my white blood cell count was off the charts. My glucose was off the charts. I'm not diabetic, but my glucose was at 200. I'm like, what is that? So I did talk today to the nurse about that, because all of that was a little bit like, wow, why is my white blood cell count so high? Why is my glucose so high? It all comes back to the steroids. And those steroids are intended to help do that, to help enhance and create, make it so that the body can create the white blood cell count to balance out the effects of the chemo, so that I'm not dropping my white blood cell count. And also the glucose is a direct result of the steroids as well. And she said, actually, all of those numbers are exactly what they expected. If those numbers didn't go like that, go that high, then there might have actually been a problem, because we want to have those numbers high. We want to have them higher than what they're supposed to be, so that when the chemo starts kicking in, it's not going to knock them down too low. So that makes perfect sense. But so this shot today was also a continuum of that. So this was to help enhance bone marrow growth. It just had to be split up because, again, as I said, the way that the insurance allowed it, the one that could have been done on the same day wasn't allowed, but this is the same exact medicine. It's just a little bit of a different mechanism, delivery mechanism. So that was today. So that's really it. I think I did want to share a couple of things, right? So I still haven't had really any side effects, maybe a tad bit lightheaded and possibly a little flushed today, but I really don't feel any nausea or anything. I did ask again, because I thought that the IV anti-nausea pill was about 24, maybe 48 hours, but it's actually got a 5-day period of lasting. So I don't necessarily have to worry about that for another few days yet. If I do have backup meds to cover it. But for right now, I should be good for a few days as far as that goes. But one thing that you do have to be careful of when you're doing chemo is if you share a facility, if you live in a home with someone, or you share a bathroom or whatever it is, you have to be very, very careful of the fluids that come out of your body, because the chemo stays in your body and it can be transferred through fluids. So if you use the bathroom, I happen to live alone, so I don't really have to worry about it at home. But today I'm back at work. I also had my brother and his wife were with me for the past couple of days. So when you're sharing the bathroom, you have to double flush, and you have to wipe down the toilet area and any area that might have possible splash from fluids, because the chemicals from the chemotherapy can come out and remain on those surfaces, and then potentially other people could be impacted by that. So you have to be very careful of that. In addition, they do say if you're in a romantic relationship and you happen to have sexual relations with someone, you have to be very careful of, again, exchanging bodily fluids. So if you have sex, you have to have protected sex. Oral sex is out of the question, unless you use maybe a dental dam or something like that. But any exchange of fluids could be detrimental to your partner. So just something to keep in mind for if you happen to have to go down this route. I'm sure they would tell you all of that, but it's just those kinds of things where you just don't necessarily think about is the impact around you necessarily, because you feel like it's all about everything that's going on inside your body, but it's not just inside your body. It is also what comes out of your body. So, so that's it. Just a little quick update. And again, thank you to everyone who's been following and donating. The GoFundMe is going fantastic, and I'm just blown away really by the outpouring, and to sound like I'm beating a dead horse. I'm so incredibly grateful and overwhelmed and moved by it all. And it really is just keeping me very positive, knowing that I have all of you behind me. So thank you so much again. And just keep on watching. Thanks, guys. Bye.